7 Up is one of the most recognizable soft drinks across the globe, being served in over 150 countries and being around for almost 100 years. I had to pose the question to myself when I saw this bottle in my local Asian specialty market, how does it differ in other regions of the world? Well, we are about to answer that question here because today, coming straight from China, I am looking at the orange lemon variety of 7 Up. Now, my first question going into this is orange lemon. See, in the United States, and I'm sure many other countries across the world, 7 Up is lemon lime. Here we have lemon orange. So if you know the answer to this, leave it down below. Is this a normal flavor? Like, is this the base 7 Up flavor in other countries around the world? Or is this a special variety? I had originally thought this was lemon lime as I picked it up, until I realized you didn't look good enough. That ain't no lime. But let's look at the ingredients before we go into this. So this is made with water, lemon juice concentrate, food additives, which I love how that's the ingredient, not listing it all out. Well, they do list it out, but it's also just food additives. So carbon dioxide, citric acid, flavor is its own ingredient, sodium citrate, aspartame, sodium benzoate, sucralose, and potassium sorbate. What's interesting with that is there's no actual added sugar in this. It's artificial sweeteners in the sense of sucralose and aspartame. And I don't think, but then again, I don't know Chinese. This isn't a diet 7 Up, is it? Because in the States, aspartame and sucralose are only usually used for diet sodas. Now, it might be if someone could translate this for me. But the other thing that's interesting in here is there's actual lemon juice concentrate. So we do have real juice in here. However, there isn't orange juice concentrate. So calorie-wise, it is 0 calories. So it's possible this is a diet variety. But 0 sugar, 0 vitamins, pretty much 0 everything on the side of this in the small little nutritional label that they've translated, aside from it actually having sodium in here, which makes sense because you have your sodium citrate and your sodium benzoate as preservatives. So that kind of makes sense. But it's time for the moment of truth. How does it taste? So let's pop this top and find out. Had a nice carbonation coming out of it very quickly. Top came off very easily as well. Oddly enough, I don't smell anything coming off of this. Maybe like a little hint of lemon. But aside from that, nothing. It kind of smells like seltzer water. So let's check it out. Okay, the flavor's there. But, see, no, there it is, actually. So what's interesting is at first, I didn't taste any type of orange flavor to it. I tasted lemon, but not a lot. See, what's odd with this, and maybe it's by design, is the flavor coming off of this isn't super, like, flavorful, if that makes sense. It's there, like, it doesn't taste like seltzer water or like a hint of lemon or orange. It's, as you can see, I have to kind of go back to it just to kind of make an assumption, because it's very lightly carbonated too, which is interesting because it sounded very carbonated from when I popped the top off. But it's actually really good. It's refreshing, and the fact that it doesn't come off as carbonated as it is, or it doesn't come off, because I'm not saying like it's super carbonated. It comes off very lightly carbonated. The fact that it doesn't come off as carbonated as it seemed when I took the lid off makes this very refreshing. I'm kind of a fan of this because even though you could taste that there's not real sugar in here, you also don't taste a lot of that artificial sweetener in there. I think the lemon juice kind of compensates with it, and whatever that flavor ingredient was makes it interestingly sweet on its own. You know, like, I usually don't do diet sodas all that well, and this is kind of what this comes off as. Which, again, very possibly it might be, but it actually blends together very well. They definitely didn't overdo it with the sweeteners. And it's actually a very refreshing soda slash soft drink slash fizzy drink if you're in the UK. And I would buy this again. I think it's very delicious in terms of how it tastes. It's refreshing. It hits the spot. There's not a lot or any caffeine to it. So it's not going to keep you wired. You can have this at any point of the day. And there's not any sugar either. It's the artificial sweeteners, as I mentioned, which I'm not a big fan of. But overall, for the purpose of this review, Orange Lemon 7-Up from China, it kind of slaps a little bit, right? This hits the spot. I would definitely buy this again. A nice blend of your fruit flavors in there. Not overly carbonated. Doesn't taste super artificial, at least by American standards. Maybe other nations, it does. But, you know, that's up to you to decide. Let me know if you've had this down in the comment section below, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Let me know what else you would like me to review. See ya. Bye.